The Common Sense Engine presents Monopoly of Thoughts. The Common Sense Engine or COSIN attempts to optimize the political and economic system. For more details, please watch the channel's featured video. This video assesses the collective knowledge of today compared to our potential. We are living in a world of collective intelligence. Institutions, like governments, corporations, and schools, collect the knowledge and, for the most part, publish it on the internet. Examples include the wide variety of educational channels on YouTube and other platforms that provide free online courses from the best universities and lecturers. While institutions had a historic role in spreading knowledge across the globe, we argue that with contemporary information technology, collective intelligence could be way more effective and efficient, so it is time to step up. Let me illustrate the problem. Many of us make a living from 9-to-5 jobs, meaning an employer pays us for our 8, 9, 10 hours. What happens to our thoughts in this world? First, our thoughts are usually distracted because we must focus on the assigned tasks. If we are lucky, this can be inspiring, but let us be honest and admit that we usually find many tasks boring or meaningless. In return, other great ideas never are conceived. Second, if we do a good job, our ideas will typically benefit the company management, investors, and customers. If you have ever done benchmarking, you know how secretive companies can be about their successful processes and practices, which is not surprising in market competition. As a result, people will reinvent the wheel repeatedly, while they could have developed a car if they knew that wheel existed. Third, and this is the saddest one, we may have a brilliant concept that does not fit the current narrative of the company. In this case, our thought gets cancelled. It brings us to the question of intellectual property, or IP. Usually, anything we come up with as part of our job becomes company property. From one perspective, it is a fair deal, and we get compensated for our work. From another perspective, it is absurd. Someone who may have nothing to do with our concept becomes the owner. And this raises an even more provoking question: are our thoughts ours? Sometimes, even we do not understand some implications of our ideas. Famous examples include Einstein's struggle with the consequences of the theory of relativity, or Fermat's handwritten note about his famous mathematical conjecture, which was proven only 3.5 centuries later. I have discovered a truly marvelous proof of this, which this margin is too narrow to contain. By the way, the story of the cosmological constant, that was not part of Einstein's original theory, added to the equations by Einstein, removed by him a decade later, and reintroduced by astrophysicists in the late 90s, shows us another interesting pattern of the thought process. If we have an idea, often, more thinking tells us that it is wrong, but more study makes us realize that we were right, and so on. In COSIN, we get compensated for publishing our thoughts based on their popularity and how many reactions they inspire. Due to anonymity, ad hominem arguments, attacks against the person, do not play a role in these. And because we also get compensated for reacting to ideas, we can be confident that others will also pay attention to our opinions. So, we showed how many great ideas are prevented, kept in secret, or cancelled, and how COSIN deals with these inefficiencies. But at least two other factors limit the free flow of thoughts. One is related to the stress caused by our existential dependence on how we perform our job. Not impacting only our work, but can also wake us up in the middle of the night, distract our thoughts in our free time, or even kill us slowly or quickly. Therefore, one of the main goals of COSIN's framework is to encourage people to find peace of mind and help this through fair income distribution. In COSIN, you can earn a living simply by sharing your thoughts and responding to ideas. COSIN does not buy your time or define your tasks. And if you want a break after years of hard work, your past contribution to society is still rewarded, and that reward decreases slowly, giving you time to recharge your batteries. Finally, the current economic system is designed for individuals rationally follow their self-interest, leading to mental corruption, which, from our perspective, also means less diverse, less courageous thoughts. For example, before the 2008 financial crisis, both the lenders and the borrowers of subprime mortgages acted rationally on an individual level. Most did it in good faith. Many who had to face the consequences were manipulated or unfortunate, while most of the players too big to fall got bailed out by central banks. In COSIN, there are no mortgages or loans, and nobody is too big to fail. Responsibility always stays with the individual. They cannot hide behind legal entities. In summary, humanity has come a long way from the everyday struggle for survival to institutions sharing our most valuable thoughts on the internet. However, we could elevate collective intelligence to another level, and we better do that before the current world collapses onto us. That is Cocine's mission.